International Boxing Hall of Famer. I'm still here in Vegas, Las Vegas, with my boy, Manvirai, and I've just witnessed history. Terence Crawford has just become, in the four-belt era, the first man to become a three-weight undisputed champion. And he's just finished it off in the 168-pound weight division, the Cobras division, super middleweight.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, we got a bit of shocking boxing news as TV Azteca, Mexican boxing channel, is reporting that four-division world champion.
The arena erupts as two of boxing's greatest technicians step into the ring. Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican powerhouse with granite composure, and Terence "Bud" Crawford, the slick, switch-hitting genius who has dominated every division he's touched. Analysts call it a clash of eras, a meeting of 2-pound, 4-pound kings whose skills are so high, every small mistake could mean disaster. As the bell rings for round one, both fighters approach with icy calm, each refusing to blink first.
Closer the fight gets, you got people that are shifting opinions from Canelo to Terence Crawford. I was one of them. I got it 50-50. I thought that this fight wouldn't be competitive. I didn't like it because of the size. Watch the Williams Cole fight. You see that there's still some deficiencies that Canelo's had in the past that he still has currently. You see him face off, size difference. These are what you would think from a 68 to a guy that was just at 47 a year or so ago. How are you feeling about that fight?
For the record, I'm Puerto Rican, half Dominican, so I'm Latino. For all my people out there who think I just sided with the black guy, I seen the comments in the last video that I did. Okay, but we have to break some things down to perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147 pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147 pounder. Another thing is, he's a determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. So you only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, we want to break it down fundamentally. Don't get me wrong. Canelo is a strong fighter. You know, he's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, paused, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Bennett. Okay, we're fighting a guy that can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches.
Crawford opens the fight in southpaw, flicking out quick jabs to measure distance. He circles with light steps, looking to disrupt Canelo's rhythm before it can settle. Canelo stalks forward, slipping shots with minimal head movement, firing sharp counters to the body. Every punch is an investment. Canelo wants to slow Bud early. But Crawford snaps a right hook that gets Canelo's attention, showing he's not here to survive, he's here to take the king's crown.
Or fight of the year, and potentially one of the biggest fights boxing can make in Canelo versus Crawford. Welcome back to the Weight Concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And today I want to start a two-part series that you guys will see today and tomorrow, outlining how each fighter wins this mega fight, because as you've seen everywhere, as the talk has been leading up to this, most people consider this a 50-50 fight, meaning both fighters can win this thing and it may come down to just one or two very small differences. But all week, you're going to hear different opinions from boxing analysts and fighters and everybody else, and that's what makes this fight so special. Everyone will be talking about it. And speaking of talking about it, before we get into the video, this week I'll be doing a live show at Radio Row for this fight. I've never done that. It's been one of my dreams to do a Radio Row live show for any sort of sport, and having it in boxing for my first one is going to be amazing. I don't really know too much of what's going to go down. It's just kind of come across my my schedule, but I know I'm going to be live Thursday and Friday. I don't know the times yet. I don't know the guests yet, but tune in right here on this channel, because if it's anything like I imagine it, it's going to be something you don't want. But today's video is why Canelo Alvarez beats Terence Crawford. Again, I'm going to do one for Terence, so before the comments go crazy, just hold on, there'll be another one tomorrow. But today we're talking Canelo Saul Alvarez and why he wins, the breakdown. Let's go. Number one, yes, Canelo is the bigger fighter. And what do I mean by that? He is more experienced at 168 pounds, meaning he has fought at the higher weight class for far longer. He has fought some of the biggest names and the most experienced guys at this weight class, 160 and 175 in this era. He has a more natural aptitude for 168 when it comes to his frame, right? Look at Canelo and look at Terence Crawford. Canelo is more of a stockier, shorter, dense, thick boy, however you want to go about it. He's more broad in his shoulders. He carries the weight, it feels like, better at 168. Today, they had their first face-off at the Bellagio, and the fountains were going off. By the way, they were on a floating pedestal. I don't know how that happened. It was Dana, it was Turki Al-Sheikh, it was Canelo, it was Crawford on some sort of floating platform. How did they get out there? Remains to be seen.
By the middle rounds, the chess match intensifies. Canelo begins cutting off the ring, forcing Crawford to engage instead of glide. Bud switches to orthodox, unleashing combinations from odd angles that sneak through Canelo's high guard. In return, Canelo digs vicious left hooks to Crawford's ribs, echoing through the arena like gunshots. The crowd roars every time the fighters trade, sensing the momentum swinging back and forth like a pendulum.
Charlo 100%. That's 50-50 business.
Fundora as well.
Fundora, I love Fundora. He's a wonderful, wonderful athlete. But he surprises you. He's a difficult man. You know, the towering inferno.
Where exactly is Bakram, the IBF champion, fall in all that?
Oh, Bachman is tough. We don't even talk about him. He's like a boogie man. I mean, big, strong, articulate, with his punches. Sure. Don't sleep on Bachman. Don't sleep on him. Man's dangerous.
Do you expect, when the dust settles at 154 pounds, for Boots to be the last man standing, though?
I would expect him to be.
Is Terence Crawford, is the fight with Terence Crawford realistic, you think, or is it just like, hey, it's not?
Of course it's not going to. Listen, my man TC did the unthinkable, the unbelievable, the unimaginable. He knocked off Canelo from 3 weight classes below. And I'm TC all the way.
But if he doesn't decide to retire, sticks around, maybe tries to fully unify 160, is there a world where you can see Jerron Ennis and Terence getting it on because there's just so much attention for it?
Well, I think it's attention, but Terence is on another level, right? I mean, he's on another level.
When you say another level, do you mean like marketability-wise, name-wise, or you mean talent-wise?
All the above. All the above.
So he was either notch or two above Jerron.
Exactly. Boots has to get. He's not there yet. A lot of people don't know who Boots is, believe it or not. So the boxing people might, but to be the stellar star, and that's why I'm upset about how his movement has been going, because he could have been stellar already. He's talented enough to do it. So when you bring in the cook from the Portuguese restaurant, well, what do you expect is going to happen? My nephew's going to knock him off. It's going to happen. But that's not his fault. Boots did what he was supposed to do. He got a guy that was not on his level out of there with the quick. So my whole issue is not with nephew. It's not with nephew. It's with higher up. Make the fights and show the world how talented he actually is. And stop courting these guys that it does me no good for him to be destroying guys he's supposed to destroy. It makes no sense. I don't get it.
Is Jerron skill-wise on Terence as well?
Almost. He's almost there. TC is in the place.
Round 7 becomes the turning point. Crawford lands a sharp uppercut that momentarily halts Canelo's pressure. Smelling opportunity, Bud unleashes a flurry, rapid-fire punches that force Canelo to shell up on the ropes. But Canelo remains calm, absorbing the storm before launching a thunderous counter left to the liver. Crawford freezes for a split second, pain etched across his face, and the arena explodes. It's a brutal reminder, Canelo only needs one opening.
In the words of Marvin Gaye, hey, what's going on? What is going on? New reports have just surfaced on the internet that Canelo Alvarez, payday, you want payday? I know that. From Guadalajara, Mexico, is currently, get this, in negotiations to have a rematch with that boy Bud Terrence Crawford. In this video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I love my job. Things are finally starting to pick up. We've been in a bit of a dry spell in the world of boxing, in my opinion. This weekend's card, really good. I will be doing a Boxing Ego watch party, BWP, for all the people who have been hitting me up. Your boy Ego will cover the David Benavidez yard card. Not the whole thing, but I'll definitely get the main event, definitely get Devin Haney, Brian Norman, which to me is the main event, or at least it could be a main event in its own. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you do not miss a thing. Now, regarding Canelo Alvarez, reports have hit the net that he is currently negotiating to rematch Terrence Crawford. Box Azteca, and I believe Canelo in Mexico has a deal with them, right, for distribution or whatnot for his fights in Mexico. And they are reporting that Canelo wants to avenge his loss, and he is currently pursuing options on Terrence Crawford for 2026. I mean, for me, I've said it before, so in case you're new, I guess I will say it again. I do not like rematches that do not need to happen. I am old school. I am not that old. Like, I wasn't born when Muhammad Ali was fighting and stuff like that. However, I got an old soul. And I come from an era where you definitely had to have morals, principles, values, loyalty. All these things mean something to me, right? You notice Boxing Ego, I'm not collabing. I'm not just doing a brand deal. Like, I take my time with stuff because I'm very cautious at what I put my stamp, what I put my name on. Like in the MMA world, Mighty Mouse or whatever, he did a joint podcast with somebody in the MMA world who's a YouTuber, and then come to find out, people are now giving that YouTuber backlash, saying he's saying racist things against Dagestani people and calling people names and all that stuff. So he was forced to, I guess, cancel the joint venture they did. See, that has never happened to me because I feel like, if I'm not saying nothing can happen, but for me, if I put my name on it, I've already done my research. And from what people are saying in the comments section, it don't sound like Mighty Mouse did that as a YouTuber. He didn't do his background check, or he knew of this and knew that the YouTuber was saying this, that, and the third, and he didn't care. And, he wanted to get his views on and collabo. Me, I don't do that. So I'm very cautious about that. So back to rematches. I'm not big on rematches that don't need to happen. And from what I've seen in the first fight, what is to tell me that anything, and I mean anything, will be different in a Canelo rematch? Like, you could argue, oh, but Canelo gave him a chance.
In the championship rounds, both men show their warrior spirit. Crawford returns with surgical precision, peppering Canelo with straight shots and angles that confuse even the Mexican champion. But Canelo remains dangerous, driving forward with relentless bodywork and crisp overhand rights. Sweat flies, gloves thud, and neither fighter gives an inch. The respect between them grows with every exchange, greatness recognizing greatness.
Has indeed now
after suffering another loss, after having surgery on his elbow, he is now with the mindset that he can overcome the mountain that it was in September in the form of 5 division world champion, 3 division undisputed world champion, pound for pound king, #1 fighter in the world, first ballot Hall of Famer, superstar boxer, Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford dominated Canelo Alvarez Saturday, September 13th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Dominated Canelo. He came up essentially 3 weight classes, technically 2. And he dominated Canelo Alvarez. And keep in mind, everybody expected Terrence Crawford, the smaller man, to get knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. And he didn't get knocked out. Not only did he not get knocked out, but he dominated Canelo Alvarez. And in the fashion that I thought he was going to do from the very beginning, I didn't see it. But with that said, afterwards, the 42 win, no loss, no draw, 31 win by way of knockout, Terrence Crawford was seen as an obstacle to Canelo Alvarez himself. So much so that Canelo Alvarez stated he's better than Floyd Mayweather. I can't figure him out. I can never figure him out. Then asked, do you want a rematch? He said, no. He said he had a great career, hinted at possibly retiring. Now, according to Aztec Boxing Media, TV, which Canelo features on quite a bit, Canelo Alvarez has informed them that he's activating his rematch clause, because remember, he had a rematch clause because he was the champion, to rematch Terrence Crawford in May. Wow! I don't know if Canelo is doing it for the money. I get the sense that Canelo Alvarez is a competitor, and in his mind, he never got the opportunity to rectify the loss to Floyd Mayweather in 2013, and he used a lot of excuses. He stated that he was just too green, too young. Floyd was too experienced. He wasn't ready. Although he had 40 fights, 5 title defenses, unification bout against Orson Trout, the second best fighter in the division, who was a slick southpaw.
The final bell rings and the fighters embrace, battered but unbroken. The judges' scorecards arrive after a tense pause, a razor-close decision. Whether it's Canelo edging it with his power and pressure, or Crawford winning with his accuracy and ring IQ, one thing becomes clear: this fight lived up to every ounce of hype. 2 legends entered, and both walked out with their legacies elevated, leaving fans begging for a rematch.
The atmosphere was electric. We've got helicopters flying over us here. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're getting my car navigated in. I'm waiting for the limo. But this ring entrances were amazing. It was all Mexican. It was all about the Mexico vibe, and it was friendly and it was nice. I liked the vibe. It was relaxed. But as soon as these 2 guys got in there, it was a bit of a chess match. So that didn't really follow on from the crowd vibe. It was nip tuck from the start. But Terrence Crawford was on his back foot, kind of dominating behind his jab, putting little combinations together. Terrence Crawford was really, from the off, right until the very end, in control of this fight. Now, the scorecard might not say it was a one-sided whooping, and I don't want to say that Canelo Alvarez got whooped, because he don't get whooped, does he? But in terms of a performance from Terrence Crawford, landing with a jab, combination punches on the back foot, sort of dictating the pace, and then after about round 6 or 7, Canelo Alvarez knew, 1 second, I need a little freshener. Canelo knew he had to step on the gas. He knew he had to put the fight on its front foot and take it to Terrence Crawford and start to try and catch him and bang him on. And when he headbutted Crawford, I thought that could be the start of it. A little bit of a nut, get that down. Yeah, I don't know if there was a cut, but the referee stopped and had a look. And I thought, now Canelo's going to step on the gas. And he did that. He stepped on the gas, he started getting in close, and he started landing a few more shots than than he was in the previous rounds, but it wasn't enough. Terence Crawford was able to catch and counter. He was landing a sneaky uppercut from the southpaw stance. He was dominating behind his jab, and then when Canelo stuck it on him, he was dominating up close in the pocket. He was beating him at his own game. Canelo Alvarez must have been fuming in there. He must have thought to himself, what can I do? He couldn't do anything. He needed to pick up the pace, put the pressure on, and sustain the attacks. And I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez couldn't do that. He couldn't do it for long enough. Crawford looked like he could have done 20 rounds in there tonight at that pace, the way he was dictating and controlling. Canelo Alvarez was getting marked up, he was breathing heavy, he was getting tired, he was reaching with shots, and he was getting torn apart. It was an absolute masterclass by Terence Crawford. Canelo tried. Canelo came, he had a go, but to be honest, I don't want to rain on the parade of Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez, for me, is well past his best now. He's seen better days. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the fitness to sustain the attack. Afterwards, in the interview, he said, "I felt great. It's great. I feel good." And don't forget, Crawford's a couple of years older. So I think it's the miles on the clock. Canelo Alvarez had like 67 fights. I know Crawford's had a fair few fights, but he's about 20 fights behind him. So the miles on the clock have caught up with Canelo Alvarez. He's feeling the pace. He's feeling the age. And I don't want to say I hope this is the last we see of him, but this could be the last we see of him, unless he absolutely just loves the sport that much he wants to carry on. He's had some serious bunts there to top up the serious bunts he's already got. This guy is like, lives in a palace, he's a king, he's got everything he wants. Money is no object now, money's a subject. Why is he going to carry on fighting? Unless he doesn't want to go out on that fight, because it was a bad loss, and I think that will get his pride a little bit. But let's just give the flowers to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, from round 1 right through to round 12, he lost a couple of rounds, shared a couple of rounds, yes, through the middle section. But towards the end, start and the end, he just pulled away. And when he took